Yeah, just at the bottom. Don't water the leaves, just water the roots. Nope, don't water at the top. Water it at the bottom. Make sure you put some good bit of water in all of them. Put a good bit of water. Not no little bit of water. Shalom, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome back to Rise in Scripts. What up, baby? Rise up. Let's read. You got breath to breathe, and you have all you need to succeed. So I'm going to go ahead and read. What it is, what it ain't, what we can and what we can't. That's what we're here to find out, baby. That's what we're here to find out. Or at least just read a little bit. Just read a little bit. That's what we're trying to do. Read just a little bit. We didn't finish off 2nd Maccabees yesterday. We finished off 2nd Maccabees, so now it's time to, we're going to move forward to the book at the beginning of the Apocrypha. At the beginning of the Apocrypha, the first book of the Apocrypha is 1st ESDRAS. So we have a couple of books at the beginning of the book that we didn't do. 1st ESDRAS, 2nd ESDRAS, Tobit, Judith, and the rest of Esther. We'll read those, and once we read those books, we'll be finished with the Apocrypha, and we can move on to another book, or at least we'll move on to the Bible. We'll move on to the Bible, or what else I got, man? What else I got? I got this book called Philo, the book of Philo, that I haven't read. I haven't read. We might jump into the book of Philo, maybe. But Rise in Scripts for sure. We'll I don't know, man. We'll pick up in another Bible book. We'll see. Maybe it's something like Habakkuk, Haggai, something like that. We'll pick up in one of them. We'll pick up in one of them. So we can go ahead and read. We're gonna read chapters 1, 2, and 3 in the book of 1st Esdras today. Chapters 1, 2, and 3. I would do 4, but 4 looks long. Or not long, it's just a whole, pretty much a page and a half. So it's long for the chapters, at least. It's long for the chapters. We'll probably come back and read. We'll do Rise in the Scripts, Lord willing, tomorrow on the Sabbath. And we'll read 4 through, I don't know, we might push through 7. 4 through 7. Yeah, 4 through 7, because 8's kind of long. What? 1st Esdras is short. 1st Esdras only have 9 chapters. 9 chapters in it. Let me see how many 2nd Esdras has. 2nd Esdras has 16 chapters. So we can push through those pretty fast. Tobit has 14 chapters. Judith only has, Judith has 16 chapters. And the rest of Esther is not 6. The rest of Esther only has chapter, I would say 10, or part of chapter 10. Chapter 10 through 16. Chapters 10 through 16. So these books will go fast. These books will go fast. 1st Esdras, 2nd Esdras. Tobit being most likely Tobit and Judith being the longer chapters. We'll go through them. We'll push through them. But either way it go, we'll pick up and we'll finish that. We're reading out of the Apocrypha this morning. We're going to start 1st Esdras. The book of 1st Esdras is where we're going to start this morning. For Rise in Scripts. Rise in Scripts, man. Man, I've been in that garden, man. I've been in that garden working, doing some husbandry, trying to learn some husbandry. Turning that and tilling that ground. It's been a lot of work, man. It's been a lot of work. So I've been tired. I've been tired as shit. Tired. Hannah, tired. But as long as I have breath to breathe, then I have all I need to succeed. So the day is going good. I'm up and at 'em. So let's read today. Let's read. Let's read. As long as the garden's getting done, I'm happy with that, man. My plants are growing. I gotta make I got 3 more rows to do. 3 more rows to turn and till. 3 more rows, and then I'll be satisfied with that. And then I'll start making my rows. The ground will be flattened out, turned, and tilled up, and then I can go ahead and start making the rest of my rows for my cabbage, my spinach, my lettuce. I got some beans I got to throw down. I got some cauliflower and broccoli. I got some more watermelons. I already got watermelons down. I got some more watermelons. I got cucumbers down already. I got some more cucumbers to plant. I got a bunch of peppers down. Tomatoes is down already. We're going to see, man. We're going to see. I got stuff to go on the ground. Just like the forefathers did, man. By the sweat of my brow, I've been tilling that ground. But let's go through the books of the Bible first before we get to First Esdras, and then we'll go ahead and read chapters 1 through 3. The books of the Bible. How many do you know? How many do you know? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalm, yeah, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, and First Esdras, which is what we're about to get into in the Apocrypha, the book of First Esdras, Second Esdras, Tobit, Judith, the rest of Esther, the wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, Baruch, the Song of the Three Holy Children, the history of Susanna, the destruction of Bel and the dragon, the prayer of Manassas, First Maccabees, Second Maccabees, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, Jude, and Revelations. And those are the books of the Bible. What up? What up? What up, everybody? Shalom, everybody. So let's walk through, let's begin to row through First Esdras. Those were the books of the Bible. Those were the books of the Bible. So let's blow the trumpets right quick. Blow up the trumpets! Let's blow up the trumpets, man. Blow up the trumpets. Blow up the trumpets to be heard. To be heard and be remembered, man. To say praises. Blow up the trumpets. Blow up the trumpets. First Esdras. The book of First Esdras, it don't have no preface. It don't have anything with it. We're going to read about three pages. About 3 pages. The book of First Esdras, chapter 1. And I think Esdras is also just another book of Ezra. It's just another name for Ezra. Maybe the Greekish name for Ezra. And we'll see whenever we get into the book of Ezra in the Old Testament. Chapter 1. And Janias held the feast of the Passover in Jerusalem unto his Lord, which is coming up. Passover is coming up. And offered the Passover the 14th day of the first month. So that means that we're about to be into the first month. This will be the Passover. Whenever Passover is, it is the first month of the year. So don't let them fool you and say January is a new year, because it's not the new year according to the Most High God. And if you are a believer, a follower, holler about you a Christian, holler about you're a God-fearing man or woman, then the beginning of the year starts at Passover, or starts 14 days before Passover. So if you're confused when it is, find out when Passover is, and 14 days before Passover would have been the New Year's. So having set the priests according to their daily courses, being arrayed in long garments in the temple of the Lord, and he spake unto the Levites, the holy ministers of Israel, that they should hallow themselves unto the Lord, to set the holy ark of the Lord in the house of that King Solomon, the son of David, had built, and said, Ye shall no more bear the ark upon your shoulders, and now therefore serve the Lord your God, and minister unto his people Israel, and prepare you after your families and kindreds. And according as David, the king of Israel, prescribed, and according to the magnificence of Solomon his son, and standing in the temple according to the several dignity of the families of you, the Levites, who minister in the presence of their brethren, the children of Israel. Offer the Passover in order, and make ready the sacrifices for your brethren, and keep the Passover according to the commandment of the Lord, which was given unto Moses, and unto the people that was found there. Josiah gave 30,000 lambs and kids, and 3,000 calves, and these things were given of the king's allowance, according to as he promised, to the people, to the priests, and to the Levites. And Hilkiah, Zacharias, and Silas, the governors of the temple, gave the priests for the Passover 2,600 sheep, and 300 calves, and Jeconiah, and Semaiah, and Nathaniel, his brother, and Asabiah, and Ashiel, and Joram, captains over thousands, gave to the Levites for the Passover 5,000 sheep and 700 calves. And when these things were done, the priests and Levites, having the unleavened bread, stood in very comely order according to the kindreds, and according to the several dignities of the fathers, before the people, to offer to the Lord as it is written in the book of Moses. And thus did they in the morning, and they roasted the Passover with fire, as appertaineth. As for the sacrifices, they sod them in brass pots and pans with a good savor, and set them before all the people. And afterward they prepared them for themselves, and for the priests their brethren, the sons of Aaron. For the priests offered the fat until night, and the Levites prepared for themselves, and the priests their brethren, the sons of Aaron. The holy singers sang, and the sons of Asaph were in their order according to the appointment of David, to wit, Asaph, Zacharias, and Jeduthun, who was in the king's retinue. Moreover, the porters were at every gate, and it was not lawful for any to go from his ordinary service, for their brethren, the Levites, prepared themselves. Excuse me. What up, Burdell? All right, I'm back here reading. I'm reading. All right. Thus were the things that belonged to the sacrifices of the Lord accomplished in the end of that day, and that they might hold the Passover and offer sacrifices upon the altar of the Lord according to the commandment of King Josiah. So the children of Israel, which were present, held the Passover at the time, and the feast of sweet bread 7 days. That's the feast of unleavened bread. So you have Passover, which is 1 day, and then you got the feast of unleavened bread, which is 7 days after, for 7 days after. And for those 7 days, you can, including the Passover, you cannot eat. You have to eat unleavened bread at least once a day. Unleavened bread has to be eaten every day, and you cannot have. You're supposed to remove all the leaven from your house. You can't have any leaven in your house. So regular bread is out of there. Anything that got leaven in it is out of there. What they say, a little bit of leaven, leaveneth the whole lump. Hey, get the watering thing that you had, man. Bring it in the house. Yes, sir. Bring it in the house and come water the plants back here. Yes, sir. That's fine. Verse 18. And offer sacrifices upon the altar of the Lord according to the commandment of King Josias. So the children of Israel, which were present, held the Passover at that time, and the feast of sweet bread 7 days. And such as Passover was not kept in Israel since that time of the prophet Samuel. And yea, all the kings of Israel held not such a Passover as Josias. And the priests and the Levites and the Jews held with all Israel that were found dwelling at Jerusalem. And in the 18th year of the reign of Josias was this Passover kept. And the works of Josias were upright before the Lord, with an heart full of godliness. As for the things that came to pass in his time, they were written in former times concerning those that sinned and did wickedly against the Lord above all people and kingdoms, and how they grieved him exceedingly, so that the words of the Lord rose up against Israel. Nobody did a Passover like King Josias. I like that. I like when you read about how, those are the things you want to be. Yes, sir. Bring it up in here, so you can pour the water the plants that's in the house. Yeah, I like when it says that he did righteous, or he was upright in the eyes of the Lord. That's what you want to say. That's what you want to be said about you. You was upright in the eyes of the Lord. Not that you did wickedly in the eyes of the Lord. But many of us have done wickedly. Many of us have done wickedly. But you have the opportunity to change, repent, turn back. Hey, like the ones at the bottom I told you, put some in the bottom of the the bottom of the container. Put some in the yes, no, put first the watermelons. The watermelons in the yellow top. Water the top of them first. But then after you water the top of them, put water in the bottom of it. Put water in the bottom of the next one. The one next to the one next to the yellow top. Put water in the bottom of that. Thank you, sir. And then yes, sir, all the watermelons that's in the yellow one. And just water the ones on that bottom row. That's it. But leave the waterer in there, and I'll get the cups once I'm done reading. Yes, water. Well, just water the ones on the bottom row. Not just the watermelon, the cucumbers too. Just the ones in the circle, the ones that got the circle pots. All right. Yeah, you want to do uprightly. Verse 24. As for the things that came to pass in his time, they were written in former times concerning those that sinned and did wickedly against the Lord above all people and kingdoms, and how they grieved him exceedingly, so that the words of the Lord rose up against Israel. Now after all these acts of Josias, it came to pass that Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, came to raise war at Carchemish upon Euphrates, and Josiah went out against him. But the king of Egypt sent to him, saying, What have I to do with thee, O king of Judea? I am not sent out from the Lord God against thee, for my war is upon Euphrates, and now the Lord is with me. Yea, the Lord is with me, hasting me forward. Depart from me, and be not against the Lord. Howbeit, Josias did not turn back his chariots from him, but undertook to fight with him, not regarding the words of the prophet Jeremy spoken by the mouth of the Lord, but joined battle with him in the plain of Megiddo, and the princes came against King Josias. Then said the king unto his servants, Carry me away out of the battle, for I am very weak. And immediately his servants took him away out of the battle. And then gat he up upon the second chariot, and being brought back to Jerusalem, died, and was buried in his father's sepulchre. And in all Jewry they mourned for Josias. And yea, Jeremy the prophet lamented for Josias. And the chief men with the women made lamentations for him unto this day. And this was given out for an ordinance to be done continually in all the nation of Israel. And these things are written in the book of the stories of the kings of Judah, and every one of the acts that Josiah did, and his glory, and his understanding in the law of the Lord, and the things that he had done before, and the things now recited, are reported in the book of the kings of Israel in Judea. I think he's talking about the book of Kings. It's probably First Kings, most likely. Or Second Kings. Second Kings. And the people took Jachin, the son of Josias, and made him king instead of Josias, his father. And when he was 23 years old, and he reigned in Judea and in Jerusalem 3 months. And then the king of Egypt disposed him for reigning in Jerusalem. And he set a tax upon the land of the 100 talents of silver and 1 talent of gold. And the king of Egypt also made King Joachim, his brother, king of Judah and Jerusalem. And he bound Joachim, and the nobles, but Zedekias, his brother, he apprehended and brought him out of Egypt. 25 years old was Joachim when he was made king in the land of Judea and Jerusalem, and he did evil before the Lord. That's not what you want to be said about you. He did evil before the Lord. You don't want that to be said. Wherefore, against him Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, came up and bound him with a chain of brass and carried him unto Babylon. And Nebuchadnezzar also took of the holy vessels of the Lord and carried them away and set them in his own temple at Babylon. But those things that are recorded of him and of his uncleanness and impiety are written in the chronicles of the kings. Just put it right there, son. Just put it right there. Thank you. Yes, sir. Right there. Thank you. And Joachim, his son, reigned in his stead, and he was made king by being 18 years old, and reigned but 3 months and 10 days in Jerusalem, and did evil before the Lord. So after the year, Nebuchadnezzar sent and caused him to be brought into Babylon with the holy vessels of the Lord, and made Zedekias king of Judah, king of Judea and Jerusalem. And when he was 21 years old, he reigned 11 years. And he did evil also in the sight of the Lord, and cared not for the words that were spoken unto him by the prophet Jeremy from the mouth of the Lord. I think it's Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah was the prophet, not, they say Jeremy, but I think it's Jeremiah. And after that, King Nebuchadnezzar had made him to swear by the name of the Lord. He forswear himself and rebelled and hardened his neck and his heart, and he transgressed the laws of the Lord God of Israel, and the governors also of the people and of the priests did many things against the laws, and passed all the pollutions of all nations, and defiled the temple of the Lord, which was sanctified in Jerusalem. Nevertheless, the God of their fathers sent by his messenger to call them back, because he spared them and his tabernacle also. But they had his messenger in derision. And look, when the Lord spake unto them, he made a sport of his prophets, so far forth that he, being wroth with his people for their great ungodliness, commanded the kings of the Chaldees to come up against them, and who slew their young men with the sword, yea, even with the compass of their holy temple, and spared nothing, neither young man nor maid, old man nor child among them, for he delivered all into their hands. Some people be asking stuff like, well, what about this? Why God would kill these people? Or why the Most High did that if he loved his people so much? But he told them, man, some people just don't want to get their mind right. You want to keep doing what you're not supposed to do? Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that and that. Take some more of this till you get your mind right. Whipping their ass. That. It's like a father, man. Chastising, discipline. Get disciplined. Get your mind right. All of y'all want to act up? I got something for you. Young, old. Nobody want to say nothing. Old people don't want to say nothing. Young people doing what the old folks doing. I got something for you. And they took all the holy vessels of the Lord, both great and small, with the vessels of the ark of God, and the king's treasures, and carried them away into Babylon. And as for the house of the Lord, they burnt it, and brake down the walls of Jerusalem, and set fire upon her towers. And as for her glorious things, they never ceased till they had consumed and brought them all to naught. And the people that were not slain with the sword he carried into Babylon. Now who became servants to him and his children till the Persians reigned, to fulfill the words of the Lord spoken by the mouth of Jeremy, and until the land had enjoyed her Sabbaths, the whole time of her desolation shall she rest, until the full term of 70 years. Damn, man. Damn. Chapter 2. In the first year of Cyrus, king of the Persians, that the words of the Lord might be accomplished, that he had promised by the mouth of Jeremy, the Lord raised up the spirit of Cyrus, the king of the Persians, and he made proclamation through all his kingdoms and also by writing, saying, Thus saith Cyrus, king of the Persians, the Lord of Israel, the Most High Lord, hath made me king of the whole world, and commanded me to build him an house at Jerusalem in Jewry. If therefore there be any of you that are of his people, let the Lord, even his Lord, be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, that is in Judea, and build the house of the Lord of Israel. For he is the Lord that dwelleth in Jerusalem. Whosoever then dwell in the place about, let them help him. And those, I say, that are his neighbors, with gold and with silver, with gifts and with horses and with cattle and other things, which have been set forth by vow for the temple of the Lord at Jerusalem. Then the chief of the families of Judea and of the tribe of Benjamin stood up, and the priests also, and the Levites, and all they whose mind the Lord had moved to go up, and to build the house of the Lord at Jerusalem. And they that dwelt round about them, and helped them in all things with silver and gold, with horses and cattle, and with very many free gifts of a great number, whose minds were stirred up thereto. King Cyrus also brought forth the holy vessels, which Nebuchadnezzar there had carried away from Jerusalem, and had set up in his temple of idols. Now when Cyrus, king of the Persians, had brought them forth, he delivered them to Mithridates, his treasurer, and by him they were delivered to Sanballat, the governor of Judea. And this was the number of them, 1,000 golden cups, and 1,000 of silver, censers of silver 29, vials of gold 30, and of silver 2,410, and 1,000 other vessels. So all the vessels of gold and of silver which were carried away were 5,469, and these were brought back by Sanballat, together with them of the captivity from Babylon to Jerusalem. I wonder if all the things that, what verse that is? Verse 16 is next verse. I wonder if all the things that were carried away that they have in museums today, would those things ever be given back to the people they belong to? In Black Panther, when Killmonger was in there and he was asking, where you got this from, or I know how you got this, did y'all get it at a fair price, or did y'all just take it? I wonder if they'll be given back. Those things would be given back to the people, whoever they are, their rightful owners. verse 16. But in the time of Artaxerxes, king of the Persians, Belamus and Mithridates and Tabalius and Rathamus and Biltethamus and Semelius, the secretary, with others that were in commission with them, dwelling in Samaria and other places, wrote unto him against them that dwelt in Judea and Jerusalem these letters following. To King Artaxerxes, our Lord, thy servants, Rathamus, the story writer, and Semelius, the scribe, and the rest of their council, and the judges that are in Syria and Phoenice, but be it now known to the Lord the King that the Jews that are come up from you to us, being come unto Jerusalem, that rebellious and wicked city, did build the marketplace and repair the walls of it, and do lay the foundation of the temple. Now, if this city and the walls thereof be made up again, they will not only refuse to give tribute, but also rebel against kings. And for as much as the things pertaining to the temple are now in hand, we think it meet not to neglect such a matter, but to speak unto our Lord and King, to the intent that, if it be thy pleasure, it may be sought out in the books of thy fathers, and thou shalt find in the chronicles what is written concerning these things, and it shall understand that that city was rebellious, troubling both kings and cities, and that the Jews were rebellious, and raised always wars therein, for the which cause even the city was made desolate. Wherefore, now we do declare unto thee, O Lord the King, that if this city be built again, and the walls thereof set up anew, thou shalt from henceforth have no passage into Syria and Phoenice. And then the king wrote back again to Rathamus, the story writer, and Belthethamus, and Seleucus, the scribe, and to the rest that were in commission, the dwellers of Samaria and Syria and Phoenice, after this manner. I have read the epistle which ye have sent unto me, and therefore I commanded to make diligent search, and it hath been found that that city was from the beginning practicing against kings, and the men therein were given to rebellion and war, and that mighty kings and fierce were in Jerusalem, who reigned and exacted tributes in Syria and Phoenice, or Phoenice. Now therefore I commanded to hinder those men from building the city, and heed to be taken that there be no more done in it, and that those wicked workers proceed no further to the annoyance of kings. Then King Artaxerxes, his letters being read, Rathamus and Semelius, the scribe, and the rest that were in commission with them, removing in haste toward Jerusalem with a troop of horsemen and a multitude of people in battle array, began to hinder the builders. And the building of the temple in Jerusalem ceased until the 2nd year of the reign of Darius, king of the Persians. Chapter 3 is the last chapter. Chapter 3. Now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects, and unto all his household, and unto all the princes of Media and Persia, and to all the governors and captains and the lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia, of 127 provinces. And when they had eaten and drunken, and being satisfied were gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awaked. Then 3 young men that were of a guard that kept the king's body spake one to another, Let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts, and great things in token of victory. And as to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and a head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck. Boy, I wanted some jewelry. And he shall set next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin. And then everyone wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it under King Darius his pillow, and said that when the king has risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest. To him shall the victory be given, as was appointed. And the first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is strongest. The third wrote, women are strongest. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory. Now, when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him, and so he read them. And sending forth, he called all the princes of Persia and Media, and the governors, and the captains, and the lieutenants, and the chief officers, and set him down in the royal seat of judgment. And the writings were read before them. And he said, call the young men, and they shall declare their own sentences. So they were called and came in. And he said unto them, declare unto us your mind concerning your writings. Then began the first, who had spoken of the strength of wine. And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine! It causeth all men to err that drinketh. It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one, of the bondman and of the freeman and of the poorman and of the rich. It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth, so that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor death and debt. And it maketh every heart rich, so that a man remembereth neither king nor governor. And it maketh to speak all things by talents. And when they are in their cups, they forget their love, both to friends and brethren, and a little after draw out swords. And when they are from the wine, they remember not what they have done. O ye men, is not wine the strongest that enforceth to do thus? And when he had so spoken, he held his peace. And we're going to stop right there. And we'll come back at the next rise in scripts and finish hearing who was the wisest, what the other 2 sentences had to say, and why they said the things that they said. They said the wine was the strongest, the king was the strongest, and a woman. Let me mark that. Let me go ahead and mark it. Let me mark it. And women are the strongest. Wine is the strongest. The king is the strongest. And women are strongest. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory. 1, 2, 3. Let's mark it. Let's mark it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I just washed it last night since I've been out in that garden. It was dirty. Washed it and greased it. And I need to let the sun hit my scalp. Yeah, we'll figure out which one was the wisest saying. Is wine the strongest? Is the king the strongest? Or are women the strongest? And above all things, truth beareth the way to victory. That's what we're going to find out. But we'll finish that up tomorrow. We'll finish that up tomorrow and see what's what. See which one is which. The day is going good. The day has just started. Nitsu. That's how you pronounce it. Nitsu. That was the Rise in Scripture reading for today. That was out of the Apocrypha, First Esdras, chapters 1 through 3. Hey, which it took us about 40 minutes to read it. That's fine. That was the reading for today. We need to come back later on, man, and probably later on tonight, because I don't know if I'm gonna get in my garden today or not. As if I don't get in the garden today, if I do not get in the garden, then I won't be tired. I'll have time. So I'll go ahead and read, I'll go ahead and pick up and start chapter 2 of the Africans in colonial Louisiana. So we can go ahead and get that moved through. We can keep rowing through that book. Come on. Get in there. Yeah. Oh, you bitch. I need to burn the ends. Yeah, so we'll get back in the chapter 2. We'll start chapter 2 of Africans in colonial Louisiana and reading with SHALOM. I still been bullshitting on the children's hour. I don't have a time yet because I don't want to make, with all the stuff I've been reading, all praises, but with all the different books that I've been reading, I have not been, what's the word I'm looking for? I have not been consistent. I mean, I've been consistently reading, but I have not been consistent with a time. So I don't want to lie and say I'm gonna read at this time and I don't. I don't want to start something like that. There we go. I don't want to start something like that. So we'll just have to figure it out. I have 24 of the 26 books of Desmond Cole and the Ghost Patrol. Oh, I'm gonna go live I'm most likely gonna go live this afternoon, most likely. Normally, my readings normally, let me say normally, man, what has been shown to be the time I read, honestly, depending on, has been like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be up 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that, and I'll read. I'll just go live and read. Those have been the times I've been most consistent with. If I know that, or if I feel, like depending on if I'm out in the garden or whatever I'm doing, if the day has been busy and I feel like I'm not going to make it at 3 o'clock in the morning, like I'm going to just sleep all through the night, then I'll try to read maybe around like 10 or 11, something like that. I'll try to get at least an hour, at least with at least not Rising Scripts. Rising Scripts is meant for in the morning. Rising Scripts is meant for in the morning. I just woke up late. I've been waking up late, I've been in the garden. I've been trying to, man, I had to do the shit by myself. I didn't have no tiller. So I've been turning them rows, and I got a lot done. I got 3 more rows to go. So it's 3 separate readings I do normally. Reading with SHALOM, that's in the later of the day or early mornings, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Reading with SHALOM. Rising Scripts will be when I first get up, whether it be 5 o'clock in the morning or 5, 6, 7, you know, around that time, I'll do rising scripts. Then I have the Sabbath readings. Sabbath readings will probably be around, I don't know. It just depends on how I feel. It depends on how I feel. But it's going to be the Sabbath day. As long as ain't nothing going on, which normally is nothing going on the Sabbath. So it'll probably be around 12, between 12 and 2 on the Sabbath, which is tomorrow. Carving videos. I don't have times on my carving videos. I'll get up and carve just whenever I'm feeling up for it. Like, I'm gonna go wash clothes today, and while I'm washing clothes, I'll probably finish some more on this carving. I'll probably get back into it and finish cleaning that. So we'll try to make some headway on it later on today. We'll see how the day brings. The books for the Desmond Cole books, I need to make a time for it. I need to make a concrete time for it. So, but I have to figure out how to do it, because I don't want to read those books like I read the other books. How I've been reading these. I want it to be to where the book is shown, so that the children who may follow along with it can actually see the pictures of the book, or of the books, you know, so they can follow along, and maybe that'll help them read, and maybe that'll help them want to read. We'll have to see about that. But I don't really have a specific time, because every time I try to make a specific time to read, I end up lying. And I don't like being a liar. I don't like being a liar. What book do I read the most? Shit, I don't know. Well, for rising scripts and the Sabbath readings, it's going to be the Bible. Every rising script and Sabbath reading is going to be from the Bible and the Apocrypha until we finish them all. Then once we finish them all, once we finish all the books of the Bible and the Apocrypha, I might reread the book of Jasher. I'll probably reread the book of Jasher, but there's going to be biblical books. Rising scripts and Sabbath readings will always be biblical books. Reading with Shalom would always be whatever book I'm on. Like this is the 28th book. This is the 28th book on the list, and not list, but that we'll be reading. And we're only on chapter 2 of this book. And once we finish this book, the next book that's going to be read will be the Black Indians. So it'll be whatever book I choose. So I have we've gone through most all of them books on the top shelf. I haven't even done fiction yet. I have a bunch of fiction books here. So we haven't done those. We've been doing more, I guess you would say, historical and education books. If you can't hear them, the chickens is in the back. I don't have any sheep yet, but I plan on getting some sheep and some goats is the plan. But one thing at a time. I don't want to overwhelm myself. Since it's just me and my sons. I don't want to overwhelm myself. It's a lot of work. And if I'm taken care of all the animals, the garden, carpentry work, building on, remodeling and building on the house, on my home, I'm not gonna have time to read. And I don't want to do that. So we'll keep going in the Africans in colonial Louisiana. And once we finish this, the next book will be the Black Indians. And then after the Black Indians, we'll do the Black West. And then after the Black West, we'll see. I think we'll get into, unless I get some other books, we'll get into, unless I come across some other books that I think I want to read, we'll get into some of that ice wall shit. Some books that I have concerning the ice wall. We'll read about that. I find that kind of interesting. So we'll read about it. but it's going to take some time. It'll take some time. That'll be months. It'll be some months before we get to that. Hopefully not that long, but it just depends on how quickly we can move through these other books. We'll see though. We'll see though. We'll keep reading. The objective is to keep reading, keep learning, to be better than we were before, to set better examples. Learn as much as we can learn. Be in charge of what we download and let be imprinted into our mind. Do away with the humbug and put some good shit in there. Do away with the humbug and put some good shit in there, and be a better example for those that come after us. If not for ourselves, be better for yourselves. But if not for you, be better for those that come after you. And as long as you have breath to breathe, then you have all you need to succeed. So our job is to succeed in little, and then work your way up to succeeding in great and succeeding in big things. A little bit at a time. Gain your confidence. A little bit at a time. It's going to be rough passage, but we can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can push through. We can persevere. And diligence and discipline is key. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. So that was the Rising Scripts. Once again, shalom, everybody. I hope that y'all have a wonderful day. Be on the lookout later on this afternoon. I don't have a time because I don't know what time I'm going to get done with whatever I'm doing. I know I got to go wash clothes and shit today. So be on the lookout for later on this afternoon, if not tonight, for reading with Shalom. Man, I'm going to shoot for, honestly, reading with Shalom. I'm going to shoot for 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. tonight. I'm going to shoot for 10 p.m. tonight for reading with Shalom, so we can get that out the way early. Rising Scripts in the morning. And then the Sabbath reading later on tomorrow afternoon, about like 12 or 2. So I'll try to be consistent with that. And if I don't read at 10, I'll definitely get up. I'll try to definitely get up at like 2 or 3 in the morning. And we'll pick up and read for about an hour of the Africans in colonial Louisiana. Read about an hour on that for sure. But it's going to get read today. We're going to get it read today. What languages do I speak? Shit, man. I don't speak nothing fluently outside of English, and that's barely. I don't think a lot of people still speak that fluently. I can speak a little bit of Hebrew, a little bit of Arabic, a little bit of French, and a little bit of Spanish. I'm not fluent in any of them. A little French, a little Creole, just a little bit. I can understand more, at least the Creole. I can understand more of it than I can speak. French, I've taken these things in school. Growing up in Louisiana, French is what you had to take. And I've taken some Spanish, and being in Texas for years, I've picked up on some. Being in Iraq, in 2 tours in the military, I had to learn Arabic. But it's been so long. It's been so long. I don't speak. I haven't spoken. I haven't been speaking. When we was in Iraq, I used to speak it on a constant basis, a more consistent basis. You spoke to people all the time when you was on guard duty, this and that. So it was easier. It was easier to hold on to. But yeah, I don't remember a lot of words. But once I hear certain things, it'll come back to me. Hebrew, I'm still learning. I have some of my Hebrew books, whether it be the Left Bit or Paleo Hebrew. Just books to learn Hebrew for me and the children. I also have the Kevin Nagas, but it's in Amharic, and I don't know how to read Amharic. Yeah, the whole book is in Amharic. And I don't know how to read the Amharic. So that might be something else that I, at some time, might pursue. But the Amharic kind of looks like the Paleo-Hebrew in a way. So if I can get the Paleo-Hebrew, then I might be able to understand some of the Amharic. But I have one as well that's not in Amharic, so I'll try to read that. Nope, never heard of that language. Never heard of that language. But this has been Rising Scripts, man. We'll keep pushing one day at a time, man. Let's see what it is and what it ain't, and what we can and what we can't, man. So shalom, everybody. Shalom. I hope y'all all have a wonderful day today. Man, get something done. Succeed at the things you need to succeed at, whatever it is. Work out a little bit. Get some exercise then, man. Love your family. Love your children. Hug your children. You know, grow a little bit. Growth. Whether it be just in your mind, growth, but have some motion about yourself. Don't be at a standstill. Don't put off tomorrow the things you can do today. Let's be better. That's what we need to do. Let's be better and move forward. Let's be right in the eyes of the Lord. Let's be right in the eyes of God. Let's not be wicked. You know, one day at a time. Shalom. I'm out. Shalom. I'm out here, baby. Shalom out.